Oh my God.
What happened, James? Tell me.
What a week.
I know, me too. What a bloody week.
Russia's invaded Ukraine. The sanctions. There's heaps that was going on this week. It was quick, but it was slow, if that makes
No,
sense.
it was kind of anticipated and then it kind of took off. And like even today, like every hour, I'm checking my phone for updates. And then you're looking at all the videos coming out. And this chick was just like, she's from Slovakia. She's Slovakian. And she was just like, we're really scared, man. We're really, really scared. So it's just becoming a mess. But
it totally is.
But I saw his house, like Vladimir Putin's house. Oh my gosh. If you don't do anything this weekend, just Google his house and have a look at it. That's some next level shit. It's like the White House times 100.
Okay, I better Google that. I haven't looked into that.
Yeah, because my dad was going on about it. And I was just like, wait, what's with his house? He goes, look at his house. I'm like, okay. Apparently it's really secret, but there's 1 or 2 pictures of the inside, which is quite amazing. And he's only got 2 daughters. And I was just like learning all this stuff about him. Like, oh, what a mess.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Bloody men and their power, hey?
Kind of like every 50 years where it's just bloody humanity. Yeah.
Pretty much. So,
have you been dreaming about me, James?
I have had dreams where you've been in them.
Oh. Tell us. What was I doing? Was I eating? I wouldn't be surprised.
One of the dreams we were running away from someone. You know those dreams where you're just running and you don't know who you're running away?
Yeah. Let's get the hell out of here. Yeah.
Pretty much. I remember that one, which was pretty funny. And we were just jumping from like different places that I had been before. So you were in Vancouver, on the streets of Vancouver with me. And then we were all the way in like in Druin, where my grandparents used to live. So it was just funny how you just hop. Like the dream makes no sense.
That's cute though.
Yeah.
I think I only dreamt of you once. Okay. This is the truth as well. I'm not just saying this for the podcast, but you were yelling. You're just like, everyone be quiet. Yeah, I don't even know. I think someone was doing something like really bad and you're just like, you better stop it now. Yeah. But you said it right. And then the rest of the dream was calm, I remember. And that was it.
Wow. James loses his cool. The rest of the dream chilled.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about some very popular dreams that we all have as a collective.
Oh, okay. Shoot.
Have you ever had a dream about your teeth?
No. Teeth? No. No.
Like you've lost a tooth?
No.
Never?
No. I don't know whether this is a good thing, but when I dream it's really peaceful, I remember it. I remember most of my dreams, except for certain aspects. But normally I'm apparently it's like horror. My dreams are like horror. But teeth, I wish I had. Like that would be actually a relief.
So a common one, apparently, according to research, is teeth. So teeth being knocked out, teeth being removed, and that is a very common one. Another one is the feeling of that you're like lost control of your body and you can't move it or something like that. That's another really common one. Another one is, obviously these are more like darker kind of ones, is someone dies.
Yeah, that's me.
In your dream?
Yeah, I've had that.
That's very common. Another one is being hunted or being stalked.
I've had that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think of the other one. There was one more.
Falling,
Falling. Yes,
falling,
that was
drowning.
the one. Falling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drowning.
Yeah.
I used to have drowning dreams when I was really little, and then that was it. Falling.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's weird. Like I remember a lot of my dreams are like in the sky, like almost like in heavens, in like heaven. And there's people around
Okay.
and I'm falling. And then I'm like going back to Earth. So all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be here. That's what it feels like. I shouldn't be here. And then I'm like falling. And then I wake up.
Have you ever woken up inside the dream but not outside of it? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Where you wake up and you're still in a dreaming state.
I feel like sometimes when I'm dreaming, yeah, I'm trying to pull myself out of it. I've noticed that too. And it's kind of, I can feel my eyes going, like rolling, like, and it's really hard. So I stay in the dream. I'm like, all right, I guess we're going a bit more like.
What are you going to show me now?
Oh God, yeah, what's the sign? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine, it's either really calm or really horrific. And my mind is just it's interesting because it's interesting you said this topic, because I was just like, because my dream was getting like, I'm not really stressed about anything, not really, but I was like, do I get a dream catcher? Do I not? Where would I put it? How big does it need to be? How many feathers does it need to be on it? But those are expensive. So I was like, you know what? I'll just dream my dreams, you know?
How much are they?
They're like, there's ones for $60 and then I want a small one, and these small ones are $20. So I'm trying to find one for $6, but I'm not getting anywhere. Maybe Ishka, maybe. They're always closing down. They have some closing down sale.
That's true. They've always got that type of stuff. So probably a good place to go for it. Have you ever had a recurring dream? One that you keep having over and over and over and over again?
I have. It was one where I was like sitting with two other people that I don't know, and I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, who are you? Who are you? And they're laughing at me. And then I wake up, and then a couple of weeks later I'd have the same thing with the same people, and I'm like, who are you? I don't know. Maybe it was another lifetime and those people were my kids. I don't know.
How old were they? Can you describe them for us?
I would say they would be around my age, same age, I would say. But they would always laugh and look at each other and be like, she doesn't know. And I'd be like, no, I don't know, but I keep dreaming about your ass, you know?
2009. 2009.
No. When did I dream? I think I would have been at uni, and it was just reoccurring. And then that was that. I never dreamt of them since. It's like an Asian with short hair. And have you ever had? Yeah.
No, you go, sorry.
Two Asians that I don't know. Sorry. I don't know these two Asians. I'm keen to know.
Have you ever had a dream where you have predicted something?
Yeah. I have.
Do you have an example?
Okay. Well, we'll go there. Why not? I remember when I was having hard times with my last role that I had a couple years back. And I always visioned myself, even in high school, I'd be wearing a suit going downstairs or something of the sort. And when I was having troubled times in that job, I would just think of that. I'd be like, just keep going. This is what you imagined when you were younger, like little. And then I had this dream, and I remember the room. I remember the light seeping into it, and this tall figure in the corner. And I didn't think much of it until, I don't know if a lot of people have, you can say this is deja vu, I would say. But all of a sudden when you're in a space or you're doing something, you're just like, I've done this before, sort of a feeling. And that was when I met Matt. And he was that big figure. And he looked exactly like this big stature sort of a person, because I'm just like, that guy's huge. Like after I had that dream, I'm like, that guy's massive. But I kind of saw that. And the room is where we kind of have like our conferences and everything in the past. So that was another role that now I'm in another role. But that was so 2 roles back I was having trouble, and then that role came and it like mirrored what I saw. But it was only for like a 5-second thing. But I remembered it sitting in the room going, oh my God. I never told him that. It was just some
like
thing to calm me down, I think.
like us.
Yeah, my own personal struggle that I just overcame, and I was like, oh, okay. You know, what about you? Have you had any fortune telling dreams?
Yeah, I have. I had a lot of what's it called? Deja vu. Where you're just like, I've done this before, I've seen this before, where have I seen it for? Oh, a dream. And it's just like the minusculest of things, like I'll be at my auntie's house having dessert, and I put my spoon into it and I'm like, I've been here, like I've had this with you before.
People, and they're just
which
like,
is which is kind of weird.
But you know deep down when you're in the moment, you're just like, have I done this before? And then you're like, no, this is actually something from some deep side of my mind.
Exactly.
And in my
another one.
Like I saw like shapes on the wall and everything, and it was the carpet, the color of the carpet. Matt, who was my last boss, standing in the corner giving a speech, and that's exactly how the room is. Like the conference room, there's shapes, they've got different colored green shapes or cream, and then the color of the floor, and then whenever a guest or whoever speaks is in the corner, and you're just like, whoa.
Wow, yeah, that's cool.
I think
there's such a delay on this. It's so weird.
I don't know. It's either it works suddenly and then it doesn't. Bloody Zoom.
Yeah.
It's had it after COVID.
One of the things I was thinking about was, I remember when I first went to the job that I went back to, I was thinking that the lady who was leaving was going on to maternity leave and that she was pregnant. And it's funny how then, 5 years later, that the person was going on maternity leave, and it was a maternity leave, position, which I thought was very interesting how, I was just 5 years early, if that makes sense. And then it was funny how sitting there, I got, the thoughts from the dream kind of came back to me and put it all back into perspective. And I was like, you were right, you're just too early.
It really makes you think, like, is it already in motion, but we don't know? And we're just manifesting, or are we just sitting here just aimlessly wandering through life? What does it mean? And it's like the number one question. Well, I would say number one would be what happens when you die. I think number two would be, are aliens? I'll put that as number three. Are aliens like the real deal? Number two, I would say, like, is it already planned? I don't know.
Would you like to do an episode where we talk to a medium?
Yeah. How would we track one down is the question. We're going to have to pay.
This week, my co-worker spoke to one, and he was very, very, very amazing.
Wow. It's
eerily
funny
so
as well. I don't know. I think we're in sync in a way. I was on TikTok trying to look for Ukraine stuff, and there was one where this other video popped up, and it's called Seatbelt Psychics. And it's kind of like carpool karaoke where you're driving around and they're, singing karaoke. But this one was like a medium. If people get into the car, they don't know they're in the car with a medium. And he's just like, oh, Jerry, Jerry. And the guy's just, the passenger's like, what the hell? How do you know, like, my dad that's passed away? But it would be interesting, like, to see if you just keep your mouth. I mean, I have to prepare myself to keep my mouth shut and just see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll do it. Oh my God, such a good idea.
Yeah, I was thinking it would be a good idea. My coworker got it done yesterday.
Ooh.
And I'm kind of super nervous about it. So I was kind of thinking for the podcast, would you be open to obviously doing it and then we do a discussion?
Yeah.
About your experience. And then we can obviously do the episode a little bit different to we've done previous episodes, where we'll edit in some of the conversation and the pieces and then have a little bit of a discussion about it.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, cool. Because I was wanting to go down, obviously, dreams in terms of how we've been talking about how sometimes they do come true and like the feelings of deja vu. So I was just thinking to expand upon this next week and to do a very kind of something we've never done before, but also something that's very in tune with like where our podcast is about and, you know, how we're pretty spiritual in that kind of sense. So I just thought it would be a good little change up. So I'll get the details and we'll plan it. And I'm really looking forward to, obviously, the way I described it was someone with the ability to kind of lift the veil and communicate to energy that is no longer in this present reality.
You know,
and I found it very interesting listening to my coworker's experience of this. And my coworker was very nervous about it. We're going to have her on the show as well. That's another idea I have, obviously, to talk about her experience. Maybe we'll get her on next week as well. It's really interesting perspective because she was nervous about it.
What made her do it then?
It was actually a family. Her boyfriend's mother had got it done, and it was very, accurate what was said. And she just really,
I'm gonna have to really prepare.
She just really wanted to obviously speak to some loved ones who had passed, and she was able to do that. And yeah, one of the first things that the lady said was, "Why are you in your car? I see you in your car in a dashboard. Why are you in your house?" Without even asking.
I think, my one problem with it, and my mum.
What's your one problem?
One problem with it is we should just let the dead sleep as well. Because if something was to happen to any of us, I think deep down we know the direction and we really don't need to be helped. We just need to leave it be and see what the universe has in store. My one problem
I think it's
waking.
It can be healing, but I think you're right. Like one of the things that the medium said was you should only ever do it once a year when you really want to, if you need closure or to heal. And but lift, like I think sometimes when something's uncertain, like something's happened very out of the blue and whatnot, it's cool to kind of get perspective and to be able to communicate to the person who's gone. But also interesting how the medium very much said they're at peace, they're happy. Don't dive further into this. It's done. Like what is done is done.
I'm suspicious, but at the same time, I'm just like, nothing from either side of my family was suspicious or out of the blue. Like it was coming, and I knew because they were getting old. I don't know. A tarot card reader, yeah. Like you know, it would be interesting, but I've been to shit ones, like, but I don't know, me. But if it's something you want to do, I will gladly sit in the room and see. And then she'll be like, okay, no, I'm getting this feeling from across the room. It'll be me. It'll be me. And I'll be like, oh, I thought I was out of there. You know, have you seen those shows where she's talking and talking, there's no one in the audience and it's someone downstairs, some camera guy filming this other TV show? Like,
that happens too.
But I like to be there. I like to be there. Yeah. I'll be like, the main focus is James, but I'm in the room. I think it'll be interesting and cool, but far out. Was that so? I know we're talking about this next week, but it was pretty accurate what the medium said about her and that girl from work. You know what I also think, you know, as you dabble in this stuff, when you're walking around in the city or when you're on the train and you think you're just zoning out and you're just like, oh, I just want to get to my destination. It'll be interesting to know what's going through people's minds, whether they're actually reading your mind or reading your energy. I started to think of that like recently. I'm just like, who knows what's going through people's heads? Whether they know something that I don't know and they're not telling me and they're just looking at me in a funny way. And you just don't know with people.
Yeah.
Could be a psychopath, could be normal, could be psychic.
True.
Yeah. With these dreams, man. Crazy. Well, if we're talking about
how.
Huh?
You go.
No, I was just like, I've dreamt of my grandparents, and specifically two of them, but one keeps coming through, and they're either there just looking at me or they're actually talking to me. And like the last dream that I told you about was my grandfather said something to me to calm me down. It was a moment in my life where I was stressed, came through, calmed me down, but he kind of wiped my head because I remember everything. He's like, I'm going to tell you something. And then he told me something and I can't remember that, but I remember going, oh, wow, yeah, okay. And then I was automatically calm. So I wonder if it's stuck in my subconscious, like whether it's there, but it's kind of like wiped. And then as soon as I woke up, I was like, I need to write this down, but it was gone.
I've done that before, where like I've got to write this down, and then it's gone.
Yeah, so sad. But it's interesting.
It is.
Dreams. Yeah, I haven't dreamt in a while.
Subconscious.
Some
people don't.
Yeah.
I was reading into it, and some people don't have that dreams that often. Often people have dreams of stress, worry, and everything, and don't really have, pleasant dreams. So then they don't really dream. Like it kind of, makes them not dream.
It's interesting.
Like, oh no, I don't want to. Obviously, dreams with like mostly occur in the REM sleep, where your eyes are rapidly moving around. They were also saying that, some people dream in color and some people dream in black and white.
I've heard of that, like Wizard of Oz. Can you imagine? I wonder if you've come.
I also found it interesting. Dogs dream in black and white.
Really? It's crazy. Imagine if you come from a different time and you're remembering that time, but your interpretation is like, oh, that was ages ago. I don't know.
Do you dream in black and white or color?
Color. I've never dreamt in black and white. That, or it's nighttime, or yeah, I'm up in the clouds. Up in the clouds in a forest, or it's night. Yeah.
Up in the clouds.
Yeah.
Classic.
Up in the clouds with like the sun. I remember the sun being so bright, and like the clouds are like pink and yellow, and like in the distance was like a light blue. It was quite pretty. Then I'm like, oh, it shouldn't be. Oh, I'm gonna fall now. Yeah. I don't know, but it's cool.
I would love to hear some of our listeners' streams. So please send us an email or Instagram us or DM us at James and Jess's half hour. And we're going to read some out next week.
Sounds good. Sounds
Sweet.
amazing. Oh, yes. And if anyone knows where I can get a cheap dream catcher, just hit me up. Keen.
Awesome.
All right. That's a wrap.
Okay. Bye.
James.
Bye.